Which is more damaging? Ghosting the person or letting them know, hey, listen, you're just not what I'm looking for right now?
Letting them know. You really done. Like, really.
Came in from Facebook. So it said, how do y'all feel about looking at marriage like a parent or any family member? You respect or love them no matter what. How do you feel about
I'm
looking
okay.
at marriage?
I'm saying like a parent family. You like I totally agree. I should tell people in couples all the time that, hey, you know that line that you have with your family member, your mom, you never cuss her out, you never disrespect her like that. Then why you won't do the same thing for this person that you claim you love? I totally agree with it. The only problem with it is that person don't see you as family yet, and that's what's hard. That's why most men flip out on respect, because they're saying, hey, we know you can do it. You don't do it over there. You don't do that with this. You don't do this with your mom. So why I get the business? Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so, you know, I mean, I've seen a lot of men struggle, but at the same time, I've seen women do the same thing. Like, hey, I don't got nobody in my family talking to me like this. Right. You mad? Right. You flipping out?
You know what I mean? Then the same can be said when women make mention, oh, I ain't never had no man or no authority figure as a male kind of, you know, put me in check or, you know, kind of have some authority over what I'm doing. So that be a battle that you hear women have when they saying, hey, well, you know what I mean? Oh, like you coming at me like this. It's almost like they don't know how to take it. A man could be kind and sweet even in his delivery, but it's still stern enough to be like, I'm trying to make a point. And with that, even is like turned into, oh, you attacking me, or you know what I mean? Like you kind of being abusive, that's toxic. All of these words that make it unacceptable for him to even voice his opinion or in any way to say, hey, I don't like this. Like you said, man should have that, should have a right to be able to say, regardless of what you think about it, just respect the fact that I don't like this. Now, if we're gonna move forward, you can change it. If not, I'm gonna move on. But it's not it's not that I want a relationship. I'm not trying to get married. It's just that certain things I see, I should be able to say ain't it. And that's it right there. So
I think that I don't know if any woman could admit it, but I think women notice it. I mean, I don't know if any woman online tonight that'll be willing to be honest about it, but can a woman ever be honest and say, okay, I know this man was with me. He had a problem with something I was doing, and he was just kind of riding it out with my potential because I knew he knew it was a problem, but he didn't really like blast me for it. But I knew he had an issue with it. But he just, and I'm telling you, I'm saying this with whole heart. I don't know what happened. To me, that's a good dude who ain't blowed your whole spot up. Like you know he got an issue with it, and he just trying to spare you. He's still like, you know what I mean? I've seen women.
Pastor Dozier, I think that they double down. And when it comes to this, like, remember I talked about a topic I covered called why men cheat if they're happy, right? And I basically broke that down, started out to say, hey, listen, you got to ask yourself, is he happy or is he really just keeping the peace? And when we talk about tonight's topic of should a man marry a woman potential, what you speaking on is a man saying, hey man, you know what? I'm gonna ride it out for a little bit because I'm keeping the peace based upon what I perceive your potential. I know you can do it. I know you can do such and such and such and such. But even when women feel that vibe, like he's not connected like he was, they still like turn up. Am I wrong?
Yeah. Well, I mean, to a certain degree, but I think women notice it. I think when a woman rah gorilla on a man, and she see the dude be like, man, like I think she see the dude like dealing with it. So you know what I mean? Yeah, he may not be happy, but that dealing with it moment, I don't think a woman. I think she recognized that moment. But I don't know if she recognized it. Hey, right now, here's that moment of what he's trying to figure out: do I go with this potential or not? You know what I'm saying? It's them moments. And a lot of men, you know, a lot of men, we won't say stuff, you know what I mean, unless you don't rile them up, you know what I mean. But most times, man, a man, I hate to tell women this, but man, they jotting on you. You know what I mean? Another thing, write that down. Like they because what you looking at is a commitment, meaning marriage. And he's saying, man, come on, man. Every time we get mad, you flip out. You go here, you do this. You know what I mean? And so I don't think women are, well, hey, yeah, man. I see this guy dealing with the possibilities of me. You know, I'm just saying that's I don't think without that you're gonna lose. I think you got to be able to see, hey man, what part of me as a woman is just potential.
Right. And what you doing right now, you just unlocked a different thought in my mind. While I'm saying to myself, well, when we talked about the topic, the pacifier ring, and we talked about how it's not always and what a woman thinks about, oh, he just trying to, string me along. And when we talked about that, it's like, hey man, sometimes a man trying to get right, trying to get his chips together, trying to get his situation right. Not only that, sometimes he might be trying to ride out your potential and see if you're gonna actually make those improvements, because he might say, hey, listen, you know what? I see some good qualities. I do see some things that make me feel like I want to, stay committed to you. But at the same time, even in the fact that, hey, it's not even so much a pacifier ring. It's more so she asking for the ring but not getting it, or feeling like we've been together for so long. Why haven't you proposed? We've been dating 2-3 years, and whole while it could be something like what you mentioned, where in his mind it's like, man, come on, you got all of these things going on, and it ain't easy to talk about. So, ladies, that'd be the problem right there, where it'd be like, just talk to me, open up, and it'd be like, man, come on, man. I'm trying to have a good night tonight. I'm trying to have a peaceful night.
Right.
Playoff song. I'm not even trying to go there with you right now.
Yeah.
And she like, well, come on, like, see this, you don't want to fight for it. You don't want to fight for it. You're like, you right. I don't want to fight. But that's something that just came up in my mind when you started mentioning that. But sometimes you got to do like, man, listen, man, there's some stuff going on.
Yeah. And what you're saying is true, is because I just don't think the emphasis on relationships is the woman noticing anything about the man. The emphasis is always the man got to notice anything about the woman. So if the business fail or this fail, it always points back to, okay, so what he did. Well, you should have known what she was dealing with. You should have understood what she was going. She had a lot going on that day. Like, come on, like I done heard women specifically say, Dominique too. I heard many women say, hey, something bothering me. You got to track what happened all day, figure out why I'm in this mode. Like, and so that means he got to fall in love with somebody potential that may talk, may communicate. Like, come on, man, it's too many mays, too many possibilities. And so it should be something. And I probably say this till I die. I don't think it'll be an answer till I die. It should be one thing that all women say across the board, that, hey, this man deserves to at least understand this, know this. If we're going to put men on the pedestal and say, guess what, he should be a protector and provider, all that. We got to have something besides we all got potential. Come on, man. You know what I mean? And then you wonder why so many men backtracking away from marriage, because it's like, hey, I meet this chick, her standard is this. And so now I got to vibe with this. And then I meet her, she don't even believe, like, cooking that's in the 50s. Like, and now you got to try to respect her way, and, you know what I mean? And then this girl here, she all about cooking, she all about old school, but at the same time, when she get mad, I'm sorry, but that's just how I am when I get mad. After all, I was mad. Like, that's just,
right.
I mean,
I'm going to say something. I'm going to read these comments because I see Kalisha tapped in, Jeff tapped in. So
I see Kalisha.
Men don't respect women saying she wife material. Men respect a woman showing she wife material.
No question.
So that's the thing that goes like, listen, I don't know you about that. Like, from the state. So let me see. She said someone may have potential, but it doesn't mean that they will grow because of it. I learned by dating men that have potential only leaves you empty and alone. Right now, but let me ask Kalisha on the flip side: what if a man saw you as the one that was like, well, you got potential, but like, there's some stuff that you got to figure out. And I'm not saying
I already know.
I know you. It's just this conversation you don't hear coming from the man side. Let me see. Jeff said, I don't think women know that they're being spared, which in turn some continue their reckless behavior, which is what I was saying, Jeff.
Yeah,
that's what I was saying. Like, they go hard, they double down. You feel me? Like, it's almost like they see that and it's like, so what? And okay, right? And then it's like they triple that effort of trying to punish you, trying to diminish you.
Yeah, and then if you go there with her, she's never gonna forgive him for it. For being honest, she's gonna never forgive him for being honest, ever. Right. She'll bring it up 10 years later, 4 years later.
And it happens. And ladies, if we lying, we flying. The comments is
Man,
open
this
for
true
you
story.
to
This
voice
true
your
story just
opinion.
happened. Listen, this just happened yesterday with a pastor and his wife. Pastor's wife had noticed my wife had white toenail polish. So she says, "Oh, you got white toenail polish?" My husband said, he think it's white out on your toes, right? So she flipping out at him saying, he said that was almost 3 years ago. I said that one time, but don't matter.
Right. Right.
I like it. It's okay. It was 3 years ago. She saying, nah, he think it's white out. Like, that was 3 years ago. I said, what? Like, I like it. You done had it since then. Why would you bring up something 3 years ago? Because what happens is, one day they was in obviously a disagreement, and he went there on everything. You know what I'm saying? My point is, she never gonna forgive you for it. So if you're a man out there and you decide to tell her the truth, don't think for 2 seconds she gonna let it ride. It ain't. Like, it just, you got to shake off what she say, but she ain't gonna shake off what you say. Right? That's how it go.
This is why I was saying. My pushback on that. I was like, man, listen, man. I know some women out there like, until you establish why you should be respected, right? We goes back to, a man having to prove his worth and show what he bringing to the table before she. Remember how I started the show? I said a lot of women talk about, once I get this husband, these qualities are going to come out. You don't get access, Pastor Dozier. You don't get access, Clarence, until to this side of me unless you've made this full-on commitment, and that's under the assumption that he marrying that potential. He gotta commit to what she say she gonna give him.
I ain't giving all of me.
That return gonna come.
Yeah. I ain't giving all of me for that. I ain't opening up. I mean, like, I'm just not supposed to just give you all of me. You supposed to give me all of you, and I decide. That's crazy. Like, you know what I mean? That's, and then just like Lee said, hey, what about?
Well, if you buy the cow, you know what I mean? Like, you got to buy the cow before you get the milk and all of these things. Yeah. So it's almost like this. It's almost like, Pastor Dozier, when you talk about how a pastor bring up one scripture and then the whole sermon be off one scripture that he can't even cross-reference with something else. It's just that, well, I got this in my back pocket, my ace in the hole.
Right. Yeah. Can't build no whole philosophy behind this one little thing. What are we talking about? You know what I mean?
Right.
But and what you said, what you asked Kalisha, I don't know, that's a real question. Hey, what if it's on the other side? What if a guy says, hey, man, I'm tired of feeling empty off potential. I'm tired of the argument over it, and I'm still somewhere feeling empty, believing you're going to respect me one day and honor me one day and be like, what if it's him? Is it okay for him to just say, hey, you know what, I can't keep feeling empty like this, I'm leaving. Potential is not enough. Because then it turned around like, really?
See, here go the thing, though. My beef is this. Because, I'm a 90s baby, I'm T.I. and Rick Ross and Trick Daddy. So in my mind, I heard this statement from T.I. Back in trap, not trap music, but one of the first albums he put out. He said, hey man, I don't know what you'll do for your respect, but I'll die for mine.
Yeah, that's right? Rubber Band. Now, that's Rubber Band, man. Yeah.
Right. Now, in my mind, when I heard that, I'm like, I stand by that. You dig what I'm saying? So when it comes to like what you saying, how women will double down on that, it's like, this is why I say to myself, like, listen, ladies, y'all don't know how tough it is for a man to put up with that. Because when you start talking about, hey, what if he, wants more? What if he fed up with this or that? I think the image that pop up in a woman's mind is a man in a little coat, and he just, what if I feel like I need a little bit more in this? And it's almost like, come on, man, don't try us just because he's making statements like he really just coming off the head with how he feel, but yet we get labeled and pictured as that guy that's curdling and please just, like that whole vibe.
Yeah. I still think that, like what Jeff said, it's kind of true, man, that, hey, women don't know, man, men be spanning them out here. And then the man that don't, I'm not saying that they're necessarily, they might be wrong in their delivery of it, but they're being honest. Like, you know what I mean? But then women say, oh man, all he do is lie. Well, you took the other lie when he spared you. You wanted him to lie about that. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Ain't that crazy how they work? All right, so
yeah.
Well, let me see. Y'all came in Facebook, man. Y'all locked in tonight, man. Appreciate y'all. She says she respected what he said about the white polish. now how she was supposed to know his mind changed. I'm convinced men don't know what they want. That's why y'all feel women can't agree on what she should bring to the table.
Yeah, that makes sense if we disregard the fact that, hey, if it was 3 years ago, matter of fact, 3 years ago, there was, whatever the issue was, that was 3 years ago. And now the fact that, hey, whatever has happened, notice the man has moved on 3 years ago, and it just shows how the potential, if he really wanted to follow, if his issue was, hey, we go from one step to the next step, and it shows this woman can't, because women have a tough time moving on from a man's truth, which is the basis of that whole story. It says, hey, this is why he's always hesitant with telling it. He does know what he wants. He just don't know if you can handle it. You know how many times I've had women in a situation, I was like, man, tell her he got to wait till in front of me because he can't. There's a possibility this don't go well.
Right.
You want me to really say how I feel? No way,
man.
And we gonna be together still.
I done seen it in counseling sessions, man. It's the same thing. It's almost like, hey, you are that hedge of protection for him to be able to really say how you feel.
Yeah. I've never seen a woman say, well, you want me to be honest? And he says, yeah, I want you to be honest. And she says, no, I'm not sure how you're going to take it. No, she going to be honest. Yeah. But I've seen many men say,
top of flying, cuz shots fired.
Yeah, I've seen many men be like, okay, you be honest, just tell me, it don't matter. And so that thing go left.
Here's my next question, Pastor Dozier. Everybody locked in right now, Facebook, YouTube, man, y'all showing love. Here's the question, Pastor Dozier. Should a man have faith in a woman being able to turn on her femininity if he proves he's a good man? Should a man have faith in that? Should he have faith in a woman being able to turn on that femininity that she says that he's going to access, that she says he's going to have access to?
He can't have no faith in it, because that means she already have seen him, interviewed him, first date, and it wasn't worthy of what most people get automatically. Most people say, hey, guess what? I give you this. I trust you till you give me a reason not to. I'll do this to you. So you want a man to be convinced that, hey, once you meet this criteria, then you can get in. Man, you crazy.
Right.